800 people you assessed the cholesterol levels. Very, very interesting question this is. Anybody who answered this understood statistics. They need not read until their exams. Of course, those who answered wrong doesn't mean they need to read until exams. Statistics out of 20 will be at least 6 to 7 marks. We should be sure on the concepts and how to apply the concepts. You have a standard deviation of 10. Based on these results, how many do you expect to have cholesterol more than 240? Very simple, doctor. What is the distance between the mean value 220 and this 240? 20. And how many standard deviations we are talking about? 2 standard deviations we are talking about. Agreed? How many number of people will fall within 2 standard deviations? 95%. If 95% people will fall between 220 to 240, what percentage will fall away from 240? Away from 240? Away from 240 on this side and below 200 on this side. 5%. Oh, 5% may half. 2.5% will be away from 240. 2.5% will be below 200. Examiner is asking you what is 2.5% of 800, which is equivalent to 20. Am I wrong? Am I too slow? Too fast? You understood? You remember this table, doctor? Mean value was given to you. What was the mean value? 220. We are saying how many will fall beyond 240. 240 comes within 2 standard deviations, where 95% people generally fall within 2 standard deviations. 95% may 50% of that 95% is this side, another half of 95% this side. So this side may, how much is left over? Small part is left over, more than 240. Less than 200 is left over here. This will be 2.5%, that will be 2.5%, because together will be 5%. So 2.5% of 800 is kitna hai? 20. You are making me say it, Murali, in calculating percentages. But finally you need to calculate it like a merchant. So this is a important question. If this comes in tomorrow's exam, इतना think करने का chance मौका तो जरूर नहीं मिलेगा. First time if you thought this in the exam hall and answered it, means you are definitely Albert Einstein's grandson suffering from motor neuron disease. So examination is like Miss Universe show. Miss Universe show may you think they answer spontaneously. What will you do with all the money that you get? Oh, I donate it for poor. So it's a very standard answer. I'll start school for those who are blind. Then all the trained answers. NEET exam also is a trained answer show, is what you have to be sure about. Dr. Mannu says even median is also affected by the extreme values. Median is less affected, least affected by the outliers, the extreme values. That's what we need to appreciate. Now doctor, let's go to the next question. 95% will fall within how much value? Once more, same story. Mean is 5, 95% means 2 standard deviation. Each standard deviation is 0.75. 2 into 0.75 is 1.5. 1.5 add karo 5 ko 6.5. 1.5 minus karo 5 say 3.5, between 3.5 and 6.5 is what we need to basically appreciate. Now, investigators are designing a drug which will decrease the mortality. They want to ensure that they will not miss the difference between the drug B and the standard one, if at all it exists. Then what is the thing that they need to basically maximize? As we already said, what is the power of study? The power of study is the probability of rejecting the null hypothesis, though it is truly false. What is null hypothesis? It says difference कुछ भी नहीं है. बोलने वाले को क्या बोलते? नल हाइपोथेसिस बोलते. कोचिंग लेना, कोचिंग नहीं लेना, कुछ फायदा नहीं है. रैंक जो आना है वही आएगा. नसीब में क्या लिखा है, किस्मत में जो भी है. That is null hypothesis. But suppose if it is false, yes, definitely taking practice tests really help people. Though it is truly false, there is a probability of rejecting the null hypothesis makes the statistical power, which is 1 minus beta. Now, doctor, coming to 38-year-old female with thyroid nodule, she is asking a question. What are the chances that I really do not have cancer? So, which part of the screening test is going to prove that? It is the negative predictive accuracy. नहीं होगा बोल के confidently बता सकते क्या? Negative predictive. है बोल के confidently बता सकते क्या? Positive predictive. That is the fundamental difference. Now, doctor, shoot me an answer. Uterine bleeding at 18 weeks gestation, no products expelled, membranes ruptured, cervical os open. What type of abortion do you call it as? Inevitable is an answer. Complete is answer from Kiran. Incomplete is an answer from RMC. Missed is an answer from Tirupati. अरे पूरा nomenclature का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं. Vidya says incomplete. Inevitable, as rightly told by you, is correct. Then why cervical os open? Cervical os is closed. No products expelled. That's good. That's right. Who will answer this question? Threatened is an answer we get from Nampally. Dr. Madhuri, Kiran, everybody agree with you, doctor. Threatened abortion. Good. So you should be careful. Cervical os open or closed में पूरा NEET rank dependent है. So you should not do mistake. Diabetic ketoacidosis, whenever you are treating with insulin, insulin can predispose to movement of phosphate into the intracellular environment. Potassium is the principal intracellular cation. Phosphate is the principal intracellular anion. So insulin will drive all these intracellular things into intracellular place and predispose to hypophosphatemia. Now patient is having plasma osmolality 254 with urea at 3.0, sodium 112, hyponatremia is there. What is your diagnosis, doctor? It's very, very classical of SADH, which can occur in the case of the brain tumors like astrocytoma, is what you need to remember. Now my 36-year-old severe polyuria, polydipsia without glycosuria. When you don't consider primary polydipsia as a diagnosis. See, doctor, there are two things which you have to differentiate. Primary polydipsia from diabetes insipidus central versus nephrogenic diabetes insipidus. How to differentiate is a favorite question of the examiner. क्यों? डायबिटीज इंसिपिडस में एडीएच काम नहीं कर रहे, इसलिए There is no antidiuresis, hence there is diuresis, hence the person is losing water. When he loses water, that makes him to drink more. So there is a polydipsia in case of diabetes insipidus. ADH होने के बाद भी psychologically there is a compulsive drinking in psychiatric condition called primary polydipsia. How to differentiate between the two? Typically, primary polydipsia is associated with a low plasma osmolality. क्यों? जितना पानी आप पी रहे वो क्या कर रहे? पूरा प्लाज्मा को डाइल्यूट करके ऑस्मोलैलिटी को डिक्रीज कर रहे. मगर डायबिटिस इंसिपिडस में क्या होता? Antidiuretic hormone is not working, hence there is a continuous diuresis, hence plasma osmolality become concentrated. Typically, plasma osmolality become elevated. So, elevated plasma osmolality with a low urinary osmolality is equivalent to diabetes insipidus. But primary polydipsia mein plasma osmolality is typically low. That is how you basically differentiate. Then, if you do water deprivation, you don't let a primary polydipsia person go nearer to Bisleri water bottle. Make him tied to the chair. What will happen to him? He won't drink water. His ADH is working. Hence he will concentrate urine. Whereas a diabetes insipidus guy who normally produces a dilute urine continues to produce dilute urine even if you deprive him from drinking water. If you don't drink water, what will happen, doctor? If you don't drink water continuously, you are deprived of water, what will happen? Endogenous ADH is produced and that will retain the water and concentrate the urine. Is this mechanism intact in primary polydipsia patients? Intact. Is it intact in diabetes insipidus patients? No. So that is the reason if you deprive with water, a diabetes insipidus patient continues to produce dilute urine only. He won't concentrate the urine. क्योंकि इनके अंदर ADH का प्रोडक्शन इधर नहीं हो रहे या हो गए तो किडनी रेस्पॉन्ड नहीं हो रहे. मगर प्राइमरी polydipsia guy is not like that. His ADH is intact. It will retain the water and produces a concentrated urine. That's how we differentiate. Summarize, doctor. Both primary polydipsia and also diabetes insipidus guy both have got polydipsia. Agreed? But a patient of primary polydipsia after water deprivation will produce a concentrated urine, whereas a diabetes insipidus guy continues to produce dilute urine. Then if you take the plasma osmolarity, a patient of primary polydipsia will have low plasma osmolarity without, I am not talking about deprivation of water, generally. There is a patient of diabetes insipidus will have concentrated plasma, I mean high plasma osmolarity. That's how you differentiate.